Hello everyone, this is Bhupen Sharma, and in this video we are going to create a REST GET controller endpoint using a Spring Boot. So let's get started. Let's quickly create a project in Spring. I'm going to use bhupen.in and say get REST endpoint get, and simply generate the project because it is a Maven Java with the latest version. Okay, I got my project. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open that is in my IntelliJ. So here's my IntelliJ, and I'm gonna import the project. Let's go REST endpoint get and then open. Perfect. So here we have our REST endpoint. So let's create a controller package, and then let's create a class called REST endpoint. Okay, we have to use annotation called REST controller. Now let's create a REST endpoint. So I'll say public course get endpoint, and then this will be return course. I'll say name and chapter count. We need to create this class. Let's create this class and say name let's generate a constructor. And a data setter. So now we need to map the parameters. So let's say request parameter and say value equals to name. We need this request parameter to pass from the URL, and we can set a default value if you don't want to pass it. So default value will say Spring Boot, and then I'll say whether it is required or optional. So I'll make it optional, and then I assign the variable. Let me just duplicate that, and it will be a chapter count. Default value will be 2, and then I'll say chapter count. So now and then I have to put a request mapping to create my endpoint. So let me just put straight away course. It'll be int. Okay, let's compile this project. Maven, compile. Okay, there should be no It's done. Now let's run this application. And this application, Spring Boot application, has an embedded HTTP Tomcat container. So by default start with 8080 port. Let's test in the Postman. Okay, so here if I just put localhost 8080 and course and hit it, I'll get the default values. Now if I want different one, name equals Hybris, I'll get Hybris, and then I'll say chapter count equals 6. I'll get the same value. That's all for this video. Thanks guys.